want out of the workshop? You know, it's a small group, so I made a plan, but I asked Judy, so I kind of want to answer the question. I want to make you guys happy because I'm here to serve you guys. And so if you just kind of let me know that, and then I have a great question because we're going to start by just defining what is love, because the topic of the workshop is Alchemy of Love. And it's based on the teachings of my teacher, Dr. Levry, and there's a book, Alchemy of Love Relationships. So most of the teachings will be from this, and I think it's a great place to start to just kind of define what is love. So that would be a good, also just if you feel like sharing. And then Judy, if you want to start.
Sure. My name is Judy, so I've been working with Jen as a student since I guess November, December, or like a couple months now, and I've been also studying Nam yoga for maybe 4 years or so. So when she brought up this workshop, I was like, yeah, I love it, you know, because I've always been curious about love, and to me, love is like, I feel like it's like the most complex emotion, you know. It's a noun, it's a verb, it's I don't know, to me that's what love is something you do and something you feel. So that I feel like love is so complex, you know, like there's so many definitions of love, but it's definitely how you make other people feel and how you feel about yourself. So that's what I want to get out of our workshop today, is to learn more about how to love.
Great. How to love. Okay.
Or how to improve on loving.
Yes, can we all? Well, you could do. Rachel.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Hey.
I'm Rachel.
Rachel, so beautiful.
Thank you. I came today. I don't know anything about Nam Yoga. I came today to learn and to participate and to explore this with my mother, who told me about her interaction with you and how she wanted to, she wanted to learn more. So I didn't know that it was a workshop. I was under the impression that it was a yoga class. So I'm sorry, I was like,
Yeah, ready for yoga?
I have no idea what I'm in for.
Yeah, you know.
And I'm open to it.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah,
Totally fine.
it's a total treat, and we did the yoga kind of part this morning.
In the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is great. And what is love? I think love is, I think that's pretty hard that's hard to define. I mean, it's definitely, I feel like it's a feeling, there's actions, there's practice, you know, but I think love is like a peaceful state and a happy place, and a way of giving and being.
I love that.
My name is Sarah. I'm Rachel's mother, and I met Jen on the N train. We were both waiting, and I met the baby there too. I didn't know this was a workshop. I didn't put that together in my brain, but I'm here to learn as much as I can, and I want to learn more about the non-yoga, because I've never heard of it before.
Okay.
I also have multiple myeloma, so I want to be able to open up more and to bring more peace into my life. I think love is unconditional, and it's complex, it's important, it's valuable, and I think we all need more of it in our lives. The world needs more.
Very true.
And maybe we can be part of that, sharing in this evolution to bring peace.
I like that.
I like that too. I should take notes. I should take notes.
Yeah. I'll do it.
The tea is great. It's a ginger
Which one
tea.
did you pick?
Ginger.
And Mom, do you want to share?
Yeah, well, I'm probably the oldest in the group right now, but my experience with life is that you get what you give, and if you give love, even if you don't receive it back right away, you're gonna receive it back in one way or the other. So the best policy is to give love, because if you give anything negative, then you receive something negative somewhere along the line also. So whatever you give, you receive.
Oh, love. This is exciting. I feel as that there's so much love in the world, and the more one is able to open to it, then that can be reflected in other people. That's my hope. And it's been to feel it, to find that place and ease to accepting people where they're at, and without having to, with all the subjective artifice, just to understand that we're all where we are for a reason, even if it's indiscernible or undetectable at the time. And I have so much, feel so much love for the world, and to kind of hopefully understand that the compassion is cyclical. It goes in this, that exactly like what is given is received, and personally to open to that intention of receiving, because I feel as though I've blocked that for myself, so to open that up more. Love has a lot of, for something so healing, there's so much fear around it.
That's beautiful. Maybe we'll just start by saying it's not easy to have an open heart, and that love is there's a lot, like what kind of love? I love chocolate, I love the Beatles, I love my husband, I love my daughter, I love my teacher, I love my dog. So there's different kinds of love. Let me first just define what is Nam Yoga. So Nam Yoga is the science of sound and light to heal, to uplift, and to serve, and to return man to universal harmony. So it is a yoga of service. It is a yoga of sound. So what is sound? We use mantra. Mantra is a specific sound current to elevate your vibration. So we will do some practice. So it's not only writing and intellect, it's for the heart. It's an experiential frequency. Hopefully we open our hearts and can have more. So we will do some fun, beautiful meditations and stuff. I love Nam. I got into Nam about over 10 years ago. I got old. And I'm a choreographer too, and I was looking for a space, and that's how I got into it. This was in New York, and my mom filmed. She came all the way out to New York to film the choreography, which I actually ended up calling Equilibrium. I didn't know what to call the show. It was my first choreography. And later on, I did a second production, and I got interested in the Nam Yoga, which uses stuff from Kabbalah, and we're going to go over the Tree of Life. So in the Tree of Life, you can all have one right just now. You have one.
I'll pass.
Thanks.
Just harder.
Yeah. So there are three pillars, which we'll go over. There's the pillar on the right, and the middle one and the left. Long story short, I found out later that the middle one is called the Pillar of Equilibrium.
Oh.
So I was like meditating on what the show should be called. And I just thought Equilibrium. At the time I didn't know anything. So I think Nam found me. That's my story. And Nam Yoga, also from my teacher, Dr. Lever, he also started something called harmonium healing, which we talked about. And so harmonium is basically a way to use divine love from the sun. We work a lot with the sun, and then we transmute that into the client, and it's a passive form of Nam Yoga, if you will. So Nam Yoga, you open the heart. It's a heart-opening yoga, and harmonium is still heart opening and healing, but you can just lay down. So another thing is, what is love? What is love? Okay, so I do Taurus study, and I was talking to my teacher about it. I said, can you help me? I'm doing a workshop. So I'm going to just first start with his kind of side note, because it's interesting you talk about emotions, because we're going to talk about a few definitions of love. So we're going to talk about agape, which is divine love. So agape is Greek, and that's exactly what you said, Sarah. You said unconditional love, and it's to give selflessly and to share for the good of others with no expectation in return. So I think when we talk about love in terms of the spiritual path, that is the kind of love we're talking about. And it's not easy, and my teacher was saying that it's not an emotion. Because if you were to think about your emotions, then if you meet someone you don't, just for whatever reason you don't like them, like someone at work or whatever, how are you going to love them? You're just not. You just can't fake that. You have an emotion. And so what you do, he said anyway, he said you try to, because God is love, is you try to be like God. And you do it anyway. So you give and you share and you uplift them and you accept them. So it's kind of more of an action or a verb. Yeah, more than a feeling, because feelings come and go. So the opposite of love isn't actually hatred, but it's to be selfish. Because when you're thinking just about yourself, you're not thinking about the good of all. So it's not easy. I'm not perfect. I'm not always in a state of, peaceful love, but that's what we try to be like. We try to be like God. We try to attach ourselves to be like that. So one of the rules, and you're looking at me funny. No. I just heard this too, so you can have that reaction, so don't worry. Now, let me go back to Dr. Leverett. He would define 4 kinds of love. So the most divine, I guess, is the love for God, and then you have the love for your spiritual teacher. Then you have the love for your family and friends, and then you have the love for your partner, your romantic partner, or your husband or wife. Now, a lot of the workshop we are going to talk about romantic relationships, so don't read it, because that is what a lot of the book is about.
Oh,
but a lot of it is also about any kind of relationships. It could be family, and it could be with anyone, friendship. So this, I'm also a clown, or I'm a juggler, I'm serious about that. And I did a workshop recently based on the work of Pat Adams, and he worked with a lot of people, and he basically was asking, love is the most important thing on the planet, no matter who you are, where you come from, what your social status is. And he's worked across the planet, and he always asked everyone in the audience, and he only came up with like 8 times after like 40 years of talking to people, what is more important than love? So I'm going to ask you guys, do we agree that love is the most important thing in life? And if there's something more,
wow,
we can share.
That's a deep one. I think health is important. Is that separate from love, or?
I have an answer for that. If you remove all feeling of anger and hatred, you heal all the disease that you have in you, and you'll never be sick again, and you'll never see a doctor again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you remove any feelings of non-loving feelings in you, you'll heal.
So, love is still trumping.
It goes hand in hand with health.
Oh, okay.
So my teacher, Dr. Leverett, just recently, he has a newsletter, and it's better to do it online because you don't have trees and stuff. But if you write your email, I can forward you the newsletter. And it's the Healing Power Love. And he said, I actually read that. And I was like, that's not true. But he said, if you basically have divine love, no illness can come your way, death cannot come to your child, and this and that. And I've had clients where the child, the mother, there's loss, and I talked also with my Bible teacher, and I I think some things we can't explain, and I think to say that is just a little painful to the recipient. So I would say it's a nice general rule that it's true that if you, like, stress is the cause of, I think, 90% of diseases, and when you do have feelings of love and no anger, and that is going to highly increase your self-healing capacity and sense of humor, and that's what Patch Adams is a doctor, and so he created this hospital where it's all about laughter and sense of humor and caring and love, and so that you can heal and care for the patients. And it's about quality of life, even if he says, I don't guarantee a cure, but I guarantee care, and you're going to enjoy. Even if you're dying, let's enjoy the process. So I think it's important to get real too. A friend of mine, Harlan, is a comedian. He's like, laughter is the best medicine, except for if I have syphilis, I'll take penicillin. So, gosh. I'm sure there are a lot of things out there where a nice little shot is better than supposed love or laughter. Those things are good too, but let's not ignore like science. Like let's work together. So Kabbalah. What does Kabbalah mean? Yeah, so it's basically a Hebrew word which means to receive. And the point of Kabbalah is to receive in order to share and uplift others. So basically in Kabbalah there was something called like the shattering of the vessels, and all the sparks of light were dispersed. So when we say Nam Yoga is to elevate others and to return man to universal harmony, basically we're kind of not where we need to be. And if we could uplift, I uplift you, you uplift me, and we all kind of uplift, and this includes everyone on the planet, then we can return to harmony. So we cannot really help ourselves unless we help others. And when we are kind of thinking about our own problems, you're not going to be happy. Service is the highest privilege, my teacher would say. So if you have problems, go out and serve. Go to a soup kitchen, help clean up a beach, work with kids and read to them. Visit the elderly. I mean, just having sunshine, walking. Oh my God, I taught now for seniors, and just being able to remember, your family's face is, I mean, just believe me, we're all blessed. So, you need to, yeah, do you have a question?
No, I just saw on Facebook this the way in the hospital doctors like sing, dressing like clowns, and it's like just to heal the kids, children hospitals.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to juggle and do stuff for hospitals. It was such a long process to do that, and that's what Patch Adams is doing, like really about being silly and
bring laughter in the hospital.
And he also, I mean, we're going to go into a lot of stuff, so I don't want to talk about too much, all of us, but, so love, we can't try to change them, and you have to accept them exactly how they are, and love is the highest vibration. So why do people have an inability to have healthy love relationships? So now we're going to focus a little bit on love relationships now. So the answer in the book lies in the deeply rooted subconscious psychic patterns that come from our 7 karmic influences. So karma, we talked about that, right? Karma is what goes around comes around, and every action, basically you can lie to yourself, you can lie to others, but you can't lie to the universe. And that is very true. And when what you reap, you sow, and whether right away or later, it'll get back to you. So the 7 karmic influences come from our father, our mother, the experience we had in the womb, the day of birth we were born, which we're going to go over, the way we were spoken to, especially 0 to 11, the environment we grew up in, and then if you believe, and then in the book, past lives. So that's what the 7 are. So why don't we tune in, which We did, but we're going to tune in again for our new folks, because a great way to just elevate our vibration is to chant. So chanting, it's not singing, so don't worry about if your voice is good or bad. Just try to vibrate at the heart. So we're just going to bring our hands at our heart, and we're going to chant this mantra. I have my phone somewhere.
I was right next to you.
Oh. Just inhale the light of the sun. Hold the breath. And exhale a smile to your heart. One more time, inhale the light of the sun. Fill every cell in your body with light. And exhale a sunshine smile to your organs or bones. One more time, inhale sun. Exhale, smiles, and just have fun, chant for your Open like a flower to look up. To do an exercise working with archangels. So I'm not an expert with angels or archangels, but a good person to read from is Doreen Virtue, who's written a lot of books. So I've read a couple of her books. She's a cool lady. So we're going to work with, so in the Tree of Life, everyone got their Tree of Life. Venus, I guess we know Venus is the planet of love, or it's a Venusian thing. So we're going to work with the archangel that is in charge of Venus, which is Hanael. So the first thing we do is we light a candle, which we already did, but just energetically bring your hands, imagine you're lighting your candle. And you can do this when you're outside of this as well. And then have some of your tea for purification, to feel that we're calling on the archangel. It says water. It's okay. So we'll do a rehearsal. So we're going to invoke the blessing of the archangel Metatron, who is the kind of the head dude of all the archangels. And we're going to vibrate his name 3 times. So when we work with when we vibrate, we're going to do it in 3 parts. So it'll be me, meta, metatron, and that's 1. And we'll do that 3 times. Then we're going to do Ratziel, Ra, Ratzi, Ratziel. And then we're going to do Sandalphon, who's for earth, sand, sandal, Sandalphon. And then we're going to do, lastly, Hanael, Ha, Hane, Hanael. Do you want me to, I can write this down. And then I'll talk us through the. Okay, so first do Metatron 3 times, or always 3, and then we'll do Ratziel 3 times, and then we'll do Sandalphon 3 times, and then we'll do Hanael 3 times. Okay, and I'll talk us through it. So let's bring our hands into prayer pose of the heart.
Me
it's one more. Is that right? Send off. Nobody's trying. Send off. Send off. Okay, so now we're gonna do Hana, which is for Venus. Think of either your current partner or attracting the partner, making a wish to attract the right partner. All thoughts of it and let it go. Moving on. So how was that? Yeah, sometimes when I was mentioning this earlier, sometimes when I get into the spiritual practice of chanting, I can't think of numbers or certain things. I think we're gonna just, there's so many things to talk about, but I want us to get into the timing, which we didn't have time last time to go over, and that's why we did the second part. So we're gonna talk a little bit about timing, which I know the first time you hear it is a little overwhelming. So a really good thing to do is to get the book, and then there's the first book, which goes over timing even more. It's called, and it's my favorite, it's called Lifting the Veil. You can get that at rootlight.com. So I'm going to go over it, but don't worry if it's a lot, because it is. So basically the universe is very much in order, even though we don't always understand it. And it's all based on timing. So the first thing I'll talk about is the moon. So there's, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, I'll just say it real fast. There are 28 days in the lunar cycle, and there's two parts of that. One is called the waxing moon, and that goes from the new moon to the full moon. That's about 14 days, and that's when it gets bigger. So that's a time to build things. Then you have from the full moon to the next new moon, and that is called the waning moon, and that is when it gets smaller, and that is the time to remove things. So we have the Chinese New Year coming up Wednesday evening, which is on the new moon. Judaism does that. Many cultures throughout the world and follow the moon because it's a way to mark time, and it makes sense. So instead of going against things, we go with nature. And even with our mind and the tides, there's just proven science that we are 75% water, the planet's a lot of water. So the moon affects the gravity and the motions. Like more births happen on the new moon, on the full moon, sorry. There's more emotions, calls for domestic violence on the full moon. So it's normal that we're affected by the moon. So we work with the moon, not against it. So a time to start a relationship is during the waxing moon, specifically the first 7 days. But any time in the waxing moon is good. Now what does it mean to start a relationship? So the start of a relationship is when you first have sex. I don't want to talk about sex.
So that's when you start a relationship.
I had a lot more juicy stuff to talk about. I had to. Anyway, that's another.
Jen,
Yes,
can I
wait.
have one of your pens or pencils?
Sure.
Great, thanks. Thank you.
So, where was I?
The waxing moon, starting of a relationship.
So you start when it's the waxing moon. Now is that clear, the moon part?
But the first 7 days of the new moon is the waxing?
The first 14 days, but particularly the first 7 are a good time. So the new moon is when you don't see it, and then it starts to get a little bit and a little bit bigger. So the crescent, it's like a little crescent, and then when it's halfway, that's about 1 week. And then the full moon, you know, because it's big. And then you see it. So it's known, and you can go to Google and you can find out, you know, you say exact new moon times. So I know Wednesday is that the 18th, 19th?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I know Wednesday's the
18th.
new moon. Yeah, so that's the new moon, and that's a good time to start things. So if you're dating someone, have a date.
So new moon is a good time to start things.
Yeah.
The new moon.
When it's almost invisible.
Right. And then it starts to look like a croissant. Alright, so then,
So it's the new moon and then the waxing, waning, and then the full moon. Is that how it goes?
yeah, I'll just do a calendar. So there's 28 days. We'll cut it in half. There's 14. The new moon, I think it's actually on calendars, it looks like that. Or maybe it's drawn in completely. You don't see it, so we'll do it this way. So you actually don't see the new moon. And then you'll see a little bit of the new moon, and then it'll look like that. So all this is waxing, and you can think of a candle, like wax, it's bigger and bigger.
Uh-huh.
It's waxing. Okay, up until the half moon or whatever, or the other way. And then until the full moon. And that's like, everybody knows the full moon, that's famous. Like, but the new moon, I actually do a lot of new moon ceremonies because I like the new moon. It's a very powerful time to start things, to initiate things. So say you want to start a business, you want to start a garden, you want to start construction on your house, you want to adopt a pet, you want to plan your wedding, things like that. That's a good time. Then after the full moon, it starts getting smaller, right? So it starts getting a little smaller. And then it's going to be a new moon again. So that's 14 days. This is a time to go through your closets, give away clothes, organize, plan, have meetings. Now, once you've started the relationship, don't worry about it too much. But it's really kind of the beginning setting stones. So you still want to do stuff during the waning moon, but you want to initiate things in the waxing. So this is waning, and this is waxing. And I would just get a calendar. I just do it on my phone all the time, for setting sometimes appointments. So the first time I did this workshop, I didn't mention this, I did it 4.5 years ago, and I was living in Paris, I'm half French, and I did it during I had to rent the space at the time, so I rented it, and I wanted it to be during the waxing moon, and then we're going to go over our times. I did it during my Venus period. So there's also times for us, which is what's interesting in the book. So basically, can I move on? Is that, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alright. So have patience with me, I'm really bored. So the days of the week, it's going to be a little bit like preschool. What are the days of the week? We start with Sunday. I'm just going to make them.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Monday. Bless you. I guess I can go a little faster. Wednesday. And the silly Jen is coming out. Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday. So according to the book, and I guess we're going to talk about 7 creative planets. So they're not actual planets, but they're like planetary energies. So each day of the week, the universal week, is ruled by creative planetary energy. Now, why is this important? That's a good question. And why is this important in relationships? So I like to make the analogy, it's like if you travel, it's good to know the weather, the customs, and a couple basic phrases. So no, it's not like black and white, and I'm not an astrological black and white kind of person. I like to see each in the case, on a case-by-case situation. But it's good to know the basic framing and timing of things so that you know what you're getting into. So if you're traveling to, a place that's cold, like New York in the winter, you better have a sweater and a nice coat and gloves and a hat, or you're gonna, make it harder on yourself. So Same thing, you're going to the Caribbean, bring your bathing suit. So this is just the teachings up from the book and Dr. Levery based on timing, and then we're gonna go from there, and please ask questions, okay? So each day is ruled by this creative planetary body, and I'm gonna go over the qualities of each of the planetary bodies. So Sunday, and this is if you look at the epistemology of words from other languages like French or Italian or Spanish, you can understand. So Sunday, or Domingo, is ruled by and I'm just going to say them. A lot of times when people guess, but it's Sunday is ruled by the sun. Lunes, lunatic, it's going to be ruled by the moon. Tuesday, martes, is ruled by Mars. Wednesday, miércoles, is Mercury, okay? Jueves, I don't know, Jupiter, it's Jupiter. Jeudi. And then vendredi, viernes, Venus, which we're going to work with. So it's the day of love. And then Saturday is Saturn.
That's why everybody go out on Friday night.
Exactly. That's true. It's the date night, right? So this is the universal week. So let me first go over what, so the sun's not a planet, right? And neither is the moon. But we call them creative planets. So the sun, so if you want to learn about the planets, you just think of what they're like, or the planetary bodies of creative planets. So you just think of the sun, and that's what the qualities of the Sunday is, or the sun period, the sun, anything sun. So it's bright, it's luminous, it's generous, it's giving. And going back to what is love, we want to be like the sun. And I wrote a blog on being like or the power of the sun, and there's a whole book on tools, healing power of fire. And I could go over some of those if you want, for things you could do to be like the sun, like put images in your house of the sun, spend time in the sun. After this, please go out. I was like, we should do the workshop in the park. But yeah, enjoy the sun, and be generous and giving like the sun, because the sun is giving to everyone, regardless of race, gender, anything, and it's always giving and giving. So if we can be like the sun, that's a great model. So the sun is generous, and it's a great day to be outgoing and go out. Sunday's a good day to be social. The negative, everything has a positive and negative. It can be self-centered, and in terms of your own, if you're born on a Sunday, procrastination, egotistical. Okay, we're going to move on to, we have 7, so moon, Monday. The moon is like the moon, so it's very connected to the dream life, water, feminine, nurturing. It's a good day for just nurturing. You know, you can take a bath, light candles, get a massage, cook a home-cooked meal. I like to do things in terms of, yeah, Mondays are good days for spiritual work and stuff. The intuitive Monday, negative things is you have a hard time with boundaries, you can have a hard time saying no, you take on the emotions of others. You could probably work on your electromagnetic field. That would be good for moon people. What else? That's about it. Okay, so Tuesday is a great day to get stuff done. Mars, the planet Mars, is very red, it's fiery, it's passionate, so it's the negative is, I guess, too much the negative side of sex, so lust and anger and that fiery part. The good thing is it's you can get a lot done, and loyalty, very loyal, Mars energy. Okay, and these are, yeah, generalities. Okay, Wednesday is Mercury is associated with communication. So it's a great time to write, to do email, to do phone conferencing, to communicate with someone that you're going to have a hard time, maybe you're kind of like nervous about it. It's a good time to do it on Mercury. Day, negative is you don't always, there's like a part of Mercury that is very, like, always looks together, but you don't always know what's underneath. So maybe they're not together, or maybe they're appear aloof, or they're deceitful. Why? No, just kidding. All right, that was a funny joke. All right, next one is Thursday, which is Jupiter. Jupiter is a very positive planet, and it's very expansive and big. It is a great way to get a lot done. It's a good day to enjoy food. And Thursday is, the negative thing about Thursday is you have a hard time saying no. And there are very few negatives to Jupiter. It's very, very positive planet. Okay, Friday, as we know, is associated with Venus. So Venus, all things Venusian, beauty, love, nature, going to museums, anything that nurtures anything Venusian. Home decoration, flowers, romance. The negative thing for Venus is promiscuity. I'm sure there's more, but that's the one I can think of. I forgot to do. Saturn. Okay, Saturn is, it's known in Judaism as the day for your Sabbath. So it's a day of rest. It's a reflective day, a time for internal introspection, study, prayer. You can be very social too, be with friends and family, eating, taking walks. But it's not a time to do business. It's not a time to, do your day-to-day. It's time just to withdraw, to go within, so you can ressourcer, to replenish, and then you can go about your week. So it's a change of pace. Okay, so this is the universal week. Now what we're going to do now, oh gosh, so I was going through my old notes. I do have some, so you know the day you were born.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 3. Oh, I have enough for everyone. Do you want one? The next one?
No.
No, okay. Could you pass this around? So we're going to calculate our day of birth, and if you already know the day you were born, great. Otherwise, we're going to use this, which is from, it's either from this book or it's from Lifting the Veil. It's probably from Lifting the Veil.
Which one? What are you?
So this is just an old, instead of looking on, remember when Ahmed was here and he just looked on his iPhone to find out what day he was born? This is a way to actually calculate it.
Oh, yeah.
So
They have it here too.
Oh, they do? Okay. So you
I
follow
was
the
born
steps.
Tuesday, Mars.
Okay. That's why you exercise every day.
That's good. Keeps
And
you
she's
young.
very busy. My mom's very busy. So if you want to take out your phone to make it faster, I guess we have to go with the times. But if you want to actually calculate it, it's kind of fun. It doesn't take that long.
What day you were born, Jenny?
I was born on a Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't remember?
No, I don't actually. So you born Sunday where there is sunshine outside? Is that it?
Well, I was born in Seattle, but I have the qualities of the sun. Sun is also creative.
Yeah.
Um,
Giving.
yeah, it's like the sun, generous.
You're very generous.
Thank you.
So 1977 J. Wow.
So how do you do this? Step 1?
Honestly,
Just read it?
no, I could talk us through it, I guess. Let's see.
First of all, who doesn't know the day of their birth? Maybe everybody knows.
I think these 3, the Gabriel, Sarah, and Rachel, right? Yeah. So we're gonna. All right. So step 1, select the year desired. So you don't have to share with me the year you were born, but I would do. I'm 37, so I go 1977. I probably shouldn't share too much for some of it. So say I'm born in 1985. I'm young. All right. So say I'm born in 85. So it's the letter K. Okay. Then step 2, with key and month desired, obtain number of true months. So K. So then you go to K, and then you go to your
Month.
So say I was born in April. So I go to K, it's the number 24. So then I go to my true month, so I look on that little tiny thing with all the months, and I go to 24, and say I was born on the 3rd, I don't know. So I was born on a Wednesday, according to this, with my made-up birthday. So I have the energy of the primary planet, the day you're born, rules how you live your life day to day. And so I'm going to be super, like, stylish. I'm going to look like, how to have my thing together, be very good with communication, whether it be composing, choreographing, writing, eloquent speaker. Anything communication is going to be my gift. And then the challenges in my life will be to not be completely transparent and appear loose. So even if I care about things, I might appear.
You made up that date, right?
I did.
Oh, okay. So you're not really talking about you.
No.
What's your year?
It gives me like a sense of like ritual, and I think that's also part of the why we have so much in the timing. Is it gives you your life structure and order. So the reason why all of this is important is because timing is important. So if you know your vibration, the other person's vibration, you're just going to time things a little bit better. You're not going to do things.
Right.
And in the book, don't they go over all these examples with Bill Clinton? I mean, it's an old book.
Yeah, I think so.
They go over
That
like,
was
don't take a plane on a Mars waning moon, this number, this. So there are a lot of examples in the book of what to do, what not to do. Alright, we're going to move on to the year, which is more math. So 7, we're going to work with the number 7, which, in terms of in the Torah, why is 7 an important number? It's actually because it's a number of complete perfection. God created the earth, and actually in 6 days, took 1 day for rest. But it's just it's the number of perfect harmony and completion. So we work with the number 7 a lot, and that's why we do 7 harmonium treatments. So the year has about 365 days, give or take a few hours. That's why we have leap years. So same thing. This isn't like to the T per day. It's, give or take a day. It divides up into 52 days. So you take the year, and you're going to divide it up into 52. Now the thing is January 1st is a little bit arbitrary. It's not actually in astronomy very important. We're going to work with March 21st as the birthday of the year. Do you know the page in the book? It's actually, it's right here.
I'm so sorry.
I have it right here.
My page and your page is different though.
I know. I found it. I put a little card because I knew I'd have to rewrite it. So I'm just going to rewrite this because it's already done for us in the book. So March 21st to May 11th is the universal sun. I don't know if I should write all of this. I guess I will. Okay, moon. March, May 12th to July 2nd is the, maybe I'll write it, sun, moon. I want to do a partner meditation because I do,
energies behind the relationship. Take the day of birth of each person and add them together. All birthdays from 1 to 2 should not be reduced before adding, whereas all birthdays above the second should be reduced, or the second portion should be reduced one prior to adding them together. The number you get corresponds to a particular tarot card, which represents the energy ruling the relationship. To find out the planet ruling the relationship, you reduce the relationship number to a single number. Then finally, you determine the zodiac sign of the relationship from its planet.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so that's a lot. So let's just break it down real simple. So you have to read it like, okay. Find the ruling energies behind a relationship. So we're going to just do the first part, not the second part, just the ruling energy. You take the day of birth of each person and add. So let's do me and my mom. So I'm on my birthday, or maybe I should do someone, an imaginary person. Let's do just imaginary people. So
You can do me and David.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we'll do both. We'll do both.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll do,
Oh yeah, they're here, so
Okay.
they're.
well, you already know yours?
Uh
Okay, alright, so let's do you guys. So we have the 2 plus the, remind me the number?
9.
9. So you guys are both below 11, so we don't need to reduce it. So 2 plus 9 equals 11. So that's going to be the energy ruling the relationship. And then, Judy, could you read the 11 for the tarot? So this is in the book.
Yeah.
So it's based on tarot, and 0 to 22, each one number, there's an influence.
So number 11 is justice. Warning of hidden danger. Well, but, you know, success in some bold enterprises. Courage, decision, energy, fortitude. It is necessary to keep the aura strong. Balance, equilibrium, and justice. Transformation, spiritual power, the will, innovation, strength to overcome obstacles, and meditation. Influence on relationship. Your partner will mirror back to you what you give. Therefore, be very positive and supportive. You must be kind-hearted and patient. Be gentle, caring, and loving. Treat your union as sacred. Do not make false promises or humiliate your partner. Be honest and fair. And under the planetary influence, a relationship with this vibration is ruled by the moon, which stimulates the sensitivity in one or both partners. The best way to deal with this is to try not to let one's emotional sensitivity get in the way. This couple would benefit by sharing feelings. Astrological influence. The moon rules the astrological sign Cancer. You need to practice kindness and compassion. Avoid being overprotective or immoral. Try not to be over-emotional. So that's justice.
Good. So then we also can reduce, the second part is to reduce the relationship down to one number. So 11 is 1 plus 1 equals 2. And then I didn't mention each, because there's 9 numbers.
Yeah.
So I didn't mention, should I go over real quickly I'll go over all 9 numbers, because say you come up with a 4, you're like, well, what does that mean?
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
You already have a 2-digit day.
That's a great question. So say someone's born like on the 28th, right? So say we want to do a new people. So I'm going to put you with a new person, Rachel. So 9, you're going to be with someone born on the 26th. So their birthday is above 11, so you're going to reduce it. What does reduce mean? I had a very smart friend of mine come over last night, and he's like, that's not clear at all. They should define what that is. So basically, reduce just means you add the digits together. So if it's not clear, it's very normal that it's not clear. So you just do 2 plus 6, and that equals 8.
And then you do
And then you do 9 plus 8, which equals
17.
17. So that's going to be your tarot number,
Okay.
and then that's the vibration of the relationship. And then the ruling planet or creative planet is going to be 1 plus 7, which is 8. And this is only because I know it, that's Saturn. And let me now go over the 9 numbers.
Oh, I see. So you have a tarot number that
And then-
you don't reduce if it's under 22, right? 22?
The first part is the tarot number.
21. I'm sorry. 21.
I think it's to 22, right?
I have 21 to the world.
Okay, so it's 21. But 0 is a number, I guess.
Oh, you're right.
No, you're right too. We're both right. Yay! So 17 is a number that's the tarot number, or the vibration of the relationship, and then this is the creative planet. And now let me just very quickly, because I want us to do the group meditation. So this is so funny, because we're all getting very heady, which is not what the workshop's
Heady.
about. The way of the heart is the heart, so we're thinking a lot, and my teacher always says, when you get in your mind, it's a world of duality, and when you're in your heart, you're just in unity. So don't worry, if this is causing you a headache, like, you'll get it next week or next year, like, I wouldn't even worry about it. You can get the book, and I'm a slow learner, like, take your time, learn it, like, take two days, it's fine. So 1, 2, we'll just do all numbers. Not all of the numbers in the universe. We'll just do 1 to 9, 8, 9. So this is just because, don't know why. 1 is the sun, 2 is the moon, 3 is Jupiter, 4, well, we don't have time to go over it, is Uranus, which is the higher vibration of Venus. It's a higher, it's higher on the tree of life, so it's more spiritual. 5 is Mercury, 6 is Venus. And then same thing with 7, it's a higher planet, and it's Neptune, it's the highest one, actually. It's with Keter, which is kind of the unknown highest in the tree of life. 8 is Saturn, and then we have Mars. Oops. Mars. So you can write that down, and then if you're doing adding for your relationships, you can then know the vibration of them. So I want to talk a little bit about the power of the heart, because the mind is a world of duality and confusion, and it is in the heart alone that we can really, hear the truth. And what Nam Yoga really is connecting to that heart space. So when you don't know what is going on, you pray and you connect with your heart. And that's really the best advice I can give. And then I talked about this in the last workshop, but I really like it. So what is the heart? It's a melting of heaven and earth. This is a play on lettering. So heaven, H-E-A, and then earth. So heart. So the heaven and earth. But it's also true because in the tree of life we have those 3 pillars, right? And it's also in the body, and it's in as above, so below. It's also in the cosmos. So we have the right side, which is the masculine, the left is the feminine, and then the heart center is the middle pillar. And then the right is also associated with the sun, or the heavens, Father, Sun, and Mother Earth, the left. So we melt the 2, right? The sun and the earth, the feet, the highest chakra, and the lowest, and then we come to the heart. And what is love? We defined it all in the beginning, but if we think in terms of the Kabbalah, and Tiferet is the heart center on your sheet, it's that middle pillar, so it's neutral and it's not too severe. The right is considered the pillar of mercy, very gentle, and the left, which is interesting, it's the feminine, is considered the pillar of severity, so it's judgment. So it's like the love of a parent. You don't want to be too gentle, and you don't want to be too strict. It's that perfect balance, which is for the benefit of the child. So true love is you want what's best for the child, but you don't want to love. It's not like, oh, let's just love everyone. We want what's best for them, and sometimes you could have some discernment and some, you don't just let them do whatever they want, right? So my mother is a very good example of very giving, and when I grew up, she's more like a sister. And then my father is kind of like more on the strict side. So they were perfect. They were just like perfect example of the balance of parenting. So the heart is where you want to move from. And you can't think when you're in the heart. It's the fountain of light, and that's what Nam is. So we're going to not talk anymore. We're going to do some exercises. So this is a really powerful, beautiful one. And we're going to partner up, so maybe you two and then you two.
Sure.
So what we do, you're going to think of looking into your partner's eyes and really connecting to their face. So see the beautiful face, really see them. And we're going to touch right hand to right hand.
Oh.
So it's a partner meditation.
Oh.
And then the left hand is on your heart. Oh. And then don't worry about the sounds, because I don't want us to look at a board. The mantra, and just listen and then chant when you're ready.
Wait, was I right? Yeah.
So just take a moment to see the other person and send them love. Just vibrate, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then we're going to chant Rama Dasa. Sa Se So Hum. So it's 8 sounds, which is for healing. So it's Ra, which is the energy of the sun, Ma is the earth. So again, that balance of the sun and the moon. And just chant when you're ready. Sa, se, so, hum. And, so we have a lot of liberties and abundance in this country that we kind of take for granted. So we have kind of elevated our vibration, and the whole point of Nam Yoga is to kind of elevate and serve. So I loved what you said. I didn't think of doing it, but actually with my friend Amber, we're going to do, I talked about this in the mom class this morning, we're doing the same vibrational meditation. We're actually going to do a class for manifestation through the heart, and she had a great idea, which was to send healing to the planet. So we're going to do that too. Let's just keep up with, I love that chant, Ramadasa Soham. And what we're going to do is we're just going to send the energy. We can, right now, I'm going to do a prayer. So prayer is so powerful, because even if you don't have anything, you think, of, what can I do in this situation? There's so many problems in the planet, you get overwhelmed. You can still have your thoughts and your prayers and your words, which are very powerful. Why is mantra powerful? With sparks of energy, sound, vibration. It's just so powerful for manifestation. When you do it with an open heart, for the highest good of all, I do have faith that it manifests eventually. So we're just going to send our purest love and highest good for the earth and others. And we're just going to chant a little bit more Ramadasa. hands to give and left hand to receive. So right hand is up.
Right
Sorry, right hand is down. So you give with the right and you receive
with the
with
left.
the left. So right down, left up. And just do, are you comfortable? Oh, you can move it.
Because it's
A
fire.
little power. Quietly bring your hands on your heart for a moment of gratitude for all that we have and all that we don't have. And bring some love to everyone. Just go to natural prayer of love, peace and light. Actually, we'll just do love. Love before me, repeat after me. Love before me.
Love
Love
before
before
me.
Love behind me.
Love
Love
behind me.
Love at my left.
Love
Love
at
at
my
my
left.
Love at my right.
Love at my right.
Love above me.
Love above me.
Love below me.
Love
below
below
me.
me.
Love on to me.
Love
Love
on
on
to
to
me.
me.
Love in my surroundings.
Love in my surroundings.
Love to all.
Love to all.
Love to the universe.
Love to the universe.
Yay! So thank you, Mom, for making